gentlemen, how is absolutely everyone doing today from Stock Twits Nation? We are getting ready to kick this party off on this absolutely BEA beautiful Monday morning. Happy Easter, everyone. I hope everyone had an absolutely amazing Easter weekend, celebrating Good Friday, celebrating Sunday, and now, of course, we are here, ready to get back to work, ready to kick off this week. Man, it is an exciting time, ladies and gentlemen. It is exciting because this week is not like an ordinary week. This week is special. It is earnings season. Earnings season is here. Earnings season is among us. And we need to realize what is going to be coming on up because there's something that stands on out to the majority of traders, and it's right here. Tuesday, after the close, Tesla. Tesla right now is kind of, it's a roller coaster. It's up super high to 3 months ago. It's down in the dumps. We have Elon Musk. Some people love him. Some people hate him. Controversial, political. Which way is Tesla going to be going? But as we again are stepping into this hot earnings season, we got to see, of course, what's going to be coming on up. We have Google, we have Alphabet, we have Apple, and this is either going to accelerate this big dropping market or we're going to actually get this reversal. So as of now, we're waking on up on this Monday morning, seeing the S&P 500 is down slightly. Now, we obviously have come off a nice drop over the last month, but now it's starting to find a little bit of like that common middle ground. It seems like we are sitting right around that 520 area. And before we even go any farther, let's just kind of get a good mindset on what's happening on the SPY. Because when I think about the S&P 500, this is, in my mind, the stock market. Obviously, again, we have the Dow, we have the Russell 2000s, we have the NASDAQ. But when I'm saying how is the stock market doing, it is the S&P 500. So let's break down all key support and resistance lines together. I want to make sure every single time that you guys are here, you guys are listening, you guys are watching me, it all comes on down and breaks down to simplicity and clarity. I don't want any person after the show ends to say, oh, I really don't know what he's talking about the whole time. Oh, I don't know where to go now. Oh, I don't know what to do. I want to use this next hour straight to literally, again, just break down everything that you want to know. I always try to put myself in your footsteps and say, if I was watching right now, what would I want Sean to go over? What would I want? After this hour, I want to have all the best stocks. I want to have all the best entries. I want to know everything that he knows. So let's stop wasting time and let's go over it all. So first thing I would do right here is we have a daily chart. Daily chart is great to kind of get an overview, an outlook on this whole entire play, but let's dive a little deeper now. So for us to dive a little bit deeper, we probably have to go into a little bit of a smaller time frame. 1 minute and 2 minute is just too close. We kind of need to take a little bit of a step back, and really the happy medium when it comes down to the S&P 500 is more looking at like the 30-minute time frame. Now, why the 30-minute time frame? Because I'm able to see previous days, but not so far back that it's meaningless. I like to look at like what's recent that is relevant. Like what is relevant that's going to actually have some sort of support, some sort of resistance. Is there anything here that is actually going to be holding on up that could lead towards reversals? So I always go back to the 30-minute or possibly even the 60-minute time frame if I need to get a little bit more clarity. So 60-minute time frame shows us today, April 21st. All the way back to where we were here, which was March 12th. So about the last 40 days here. Now, over the last 40 days, what can we obviously see? 40 days, we have been seeing more of a downtrend. This downtrend is clear. This downtrend is concisive. There's probably no one here that can argue with me that we have a downtrend at this time. We also do have a nice bottom. The bottom that we have at this moment is back on down towards that 485 mark. 485, this is where we have been constantly seeing bounces. We did come on down to a low of that 481 mark, but I'm just going to say 485 kind of has been a little bit more clear and concise. I'm actually going to move myself to the opposite side here as well, if I can, just to, there you go, so you guys can be able to see everything perfectly. So now what else do we want to be looking at? We have a nice downtrend. We have a nice bottom support. I'm also seeing at this time, where have we had reversals, aka bounce plays or pullbacks? And what I'm seeing at this moment is I'm trying to figure out, are we going to get some sort of dip or bounce play in these upcoming areas? You could see here's a bounce at the price of 520. Here's a bounce at the price of 520. Here's a little bit of a lower extension before that bounce at 520. Here's a spike up to 520 reversal. Here's a little spike up to 520 before a reversal. Here's a little bounce at 520. So it does seem like we can't say perfectly at 520 because we do have lower shadows and upper shadows. But what I will say, probably right around that 520 mark has been one of the stronger areas that is holding on up or trying to hold itself on up. When I'm taking a look at the S&P 500 right now, I am still saying bears are in control. I'm still saying there's more weakness. And I don't think we're going to have any sort of strength until there is a reason to have strength. Right now, if we break down this in just simple terms, we know it still comes down to tariffs. Tariffs are not necessarily a bad thing. It's the unknown about tariffs. The fact that we don't know what's going to happen. So again, if you're sitting here and you say, "Oh, Deck, I love Trump. Again, I think Trump is the best thing ever." That is awesome. And if you're sitting here and saying, "Deck, I hate Trump. I don't like Trump in any sort of way," there you go. That is awesome as well. I'm not talking about your political opinion whatsoever. I'm talking about we have the president in the United States saying we are doing tariffs. And it doesn't matter if you're left, it doesn't matter if you're right, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. It comes on down to the reason why the market is falling is because it's uncertain about what's going to happen next. When we have millions and billions of dollars into the stock market, people don't like to not know the future. People want to have the clearest clarity they could possibly have of, okay, hey, this is going to happen. And when they're saying, oh, we might not do deals with China anymore, China is going to rebel against the United States, the United States wants to have an ego and not work with China, we're going to work with, we don't know what's going to happen. And that's the scariest thing about the S&P 500 at this moment. So are tariffs bad? No, tariffs are not bad. They could be bad. I don't know. It's the fact that, again, it's the uncertainty. And uncertainty leads to fear. And fear leads to selling. And selling leads to more dropping in the market. Now, as we have talked about multiple times, though, while other people are fearful, it is a time for you to be greedy. When other people are greedy, it is a time for you to be fearful. The best way that you can really understand that at this time is just by looking at a daily chart. When people are fearful, it's time for you to get greedy. Just like, again, back on Monday, April 7th, the lowest day is when we actually bought in. When, again, I jumped in on these plays. I jumped in. I have an entire list of all stocks that I've jumped in on Monday, April 7th. And I did for one reason and one reason only. Because we were technically in bear territory. Bear territory. The S&P 500 fell over 20%. Guys, we could think about this every single time. If you bought at the bottom of 2008, you'd be a happy camper. If you bought in the bottom of 2020, you'd be a happy camper. If you bought at the bottom of the dot-com bubble, you'd be a happy camper. If you bought at the worst time ever, at the lowest point of the Great Depression, you would be a very happy camper. So why is it when we get these dips, we get these bottoms, everyone says, no, I don't want to touch the stocks. No, I don't want to put myself in any sort of place. That's the worst thing. In the moment, it's scary. In the moment, it's fearful. In the moment, people start saying to themselves, oh, I don't want to touch anything. This stock is awful. These plays are awful. This time you want to run away. No, when others are fearful, it's the time to be greedy. Because you don't want to just be following what everyone else does. For anyone that's just getting involved in stock trading right now, I'm going to tell you something that I wish I knew much longer ago. Wish I knew when I first started. Just because you are new in the market doesn't mean everyone else has a better opinion than you. There were so many times that I would get influenced by other people that I saw on the internet or by just random users. If I went on Twitter, if I went on StockTwits, or if I went on anywhere, and you would just have some guy typing, oh, this stock's going to do that. Just because you are new in the market, you believe that that guy knows more than you. Don't be influenced and follow what I call the mob. The mob is the majority of buyers. The majority of buyers, we know when it comes down to day trading, when it comes to short-term investing, the majority of people are going to lose. Now, why is the majority of people going to lose? Because they are following what everyone else does. To be successful, you have to basically break out of that crowd. If we could just follow everyone to success, guess what? It would be a very simple way, simple strategy. Why are, let's say, Lamborghinis cool? Because only like one of every 10,000 people have one. Why are, again, big houses, amazing? Because you sit there and you ask yourself, how in the world did someone be able to afford that? They did something different. It's the same exact thing in stock trading. It's the same exact thing as investing. If you actually want to make big money, the last thing you want to do is just follow what everyone else is doing. But I know it's very easy to kind of get hooked into that. And I know it's very easy when you're a brand new trader to say, okay, hey, let me just do what everyone else is doing. Guys, the majority of people are just following what the other guy they read is doing, and that person read is doing, and what that person read is doing. Look at the chart. Have a mind of your own. Think about what is the right way to trade. The S&P 500 falls 20%, pull the trigger. Falls 30%, pull the trigger. Falls 40%, pull the trigger. When other people are fearful, that's the time you get greedy. So if it comes down to what's going to be happening next, well, right now, traders, we got to get ready for a big earnings season ahead. Big earnings, that's going to be leading towards this market turning and falling even more, or again, for spiking on up, and that could be able to help the market be able to bounce. Possibly the bottom could be in already. We could see that 481 mark, that could be the bottom. The S&P 500 fell 21%. Now, would that be technically a recession? No, a recession is when you have two back-to-back negative GDP quarters. But at the same time, it's still a 21% drop. It's still absolutely incredible. But I do think there is going to be more turmoil ahead. I do think we are going to see more fading ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if we start going underneath 500 again, going back underneath again 480. I hope so. And I know that's crazy for me to say, oh, I hope we go lower. But guess what? That means better entries. The worst thing, and I see it so often, I see it happen all the time, where people are like, man, I miss when we see, I miss when we have Nvidia at 150. It's like, I don't miss when a Nvidia was at 150 and me buying at the highest point possible and again just getting wrecked as it falls on down. Oh man, I wish again Rocket Lab was all the way back up to $33. Personally, me, I want to see it back on down towards $14 so I can have again better entries and better opportunities. Oh, I miss when SMCI was up towards 122. This is again the issue with people again following and again buying at these tops and buying later and later and later. I again am stressing so hard, be greedy when other people are fearful. When people are running away from stocks, that's the time that you want to be entering stocks. I know so many people right now saying SMCI, stay away from it, it's a dud play. No, this is a time that you want to be entering. AMD, right? So many people, AMD, Advanced Money Destroyer. You get AMD underneath the price of $80. That's pretty amazing. I know Nike, right? Nike's been getting absolutely destroyed. People are going to insult these companies. Oh, Nike's awful. Nike's a horrible play. Nike's one of the most recognizable brands in the entire world, right? Nike most likely is going to have a bounce back. Now, I am not saying here that Nike is going to turn into early 2000s Nike and we're going to have Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and it's going to absolutely explode. But I will say when it comes down to one of the biggest and most probably popular athletic sportswears there are, if you're getting Nike at the lowest point that it's been in the last 8 years, it's a pretty good bargain opportunity and there's not much more downside. There is a lot more upside. Now, I cannot sit here and tell you that every play that I'm bringing up right now will be a winner. And I could say, oh, well, in time it could be a winner. Sure, but I'm not trying to kind of be that like general. I'm saying that these opportunities do not come around very often. And that's why I do want to take advantage on like Nvidia. That's why I do want to take advantage on when we see like plays, even like Amazon come back on down. Anything that falls over 20%, start trying to pick up some shares. Anything over 30%, definitely start loading on up. And hey, if we are lucky, yes, if we are lucky to see again the Mag 7 plays start falling over 35%, you start hammering down. These are stocks that have gone through the test of time. They've gone through the dot-com bubble. They've gone through 2008. They've gone through 2020. And now we also want to be thinking about what is else going to be happening, like what is going to be developing over the next few months. What is going to be the hot trend of 2025? And I bring this topic up because I don't want anyone to miss it. And it's a very exciting topic. It gets me fired on up. I know I'm a little bit more of like a nerd when it comes to this stuff, but this stuff gets me excited, and I hope it gets you guys excited as well, where I'm sitting here and I think to myself, what is the next hot trend? Because I know some people may hate this right now. I'm going to let you guys know, AI is not the hot trend at this moment. Now, some people might say, well, no, AI is here forever. Guys, I agree. AI, artificial intelligence, will be around forever. I think AI is going to progress like the internet. I think there was a big boom in AI, there was a big boom in the internet, and now it's going to slowly and progressively grow. Again, I think the video is great, but there's going to be hotter kind of like those hype trends that happen within. Just like, again, back in 2020, Tesla went explosive. Guys, Tesla was basically doing nothing for 5, 6, 7 years, and all of a sudden EVs, oh, you want an EV, this is going crazy. And then, of course, the EV trend died on off a little bit. And then we also seen other trends. We've seen crypto trends. We've been able to see, of course, the AI trend. We see, when NFTs and these different coins and all this other stuff happens, right? We've seen last year, not only, we had like quantum computing trend, right? Where we saw like RGTI go crazy for a little bit. We were able to see QTUM, quantum, that went crazy for a little bit. The very popular one, IONQ, right? That one went crazy for a little bit. I'm constantly thinking to myself right now, what's going to show on up? What's going to be the next Nvidia-like mover? Now, again, does anyone have anything in the chat right now? If you can think of what will be the next Nvidia-like mover, what's the next one to jump in the Mag 7? What's the next one to change lives? What stocks do you believe could be that next kind of gold rush? Well, I'm just trying to think. If I don't want to throw out random things. I always try to think in a progressive way. Now, what do I mean by a progressive way? I try to think to myself, okay, we know, again, AI chips have been hot. what could kind of the AI chips lead towards? Like what could we go towards next? And I really think for me, the next kind of big race that a lot of people are looking for are going to be more towards the complete self-driving vehicles, autonomous vehicles. I really think that that is going to be one of those next big rips, next big runs that people are going to be going after. Now, the thing is, autonomous vehicles is something that we've heard about multiple times. And right now, over in California and Texas, they have Waymos. Waymos are 100% self-driving vehicles where you jump on in, you sit in the back seat, no one's driving whatsoever. And again, it takes you to your destination. Could it be a bold prediction? Could this be a bold prediction that in the next, let's say, 20 years or so, we could be seeing the majority of people just having self-driving vehicles? Hey, guys, I completely understand. When you got your own car, you got a little manual stick shift V8 rear wheel drive, you again all of a sudden put the hammer down, you're just running through some stop signs and red lights, having a good time. Hey, all my drivers out there, I know you like to have your fun. But I will also say, that could be an absolute revolution. Think about how many people, unfortunately, again, it's very unfortunate, how many people lose their lives driving vehicles? How many people get in trouble? How many people have drunk drive? How many people fall asleep? How many people run through a stop sign? How many people speed? How many people get in accidents because of human error? I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but let's just think about if all of a sudden these self-driving vehicles did work to perfection and they were able to go the speed limit and they were able to stop and you were able to take a nap and you could, again, if you wanted to go out and maybe have a fun night and your car would be able to take you on home. Like that, imagine if all of a sudden, with all these sensors, there weren't any accidents and people didn't lose their lives. And again, there wasn't any sort of tragic, areas like that. That could be absolutely huge. That could be absolutely amazing. We know, again, that's what Elon Musk is working towards, having self-autonomous vehicles. We know that Nvidia is working with that as well. We know that Google is trying to have Waymo expand. We know that Uber is in that race as well. We also have, again, I brought this up on Stock Tweets before, AUR before, Aurora Innovation. You know what I think could also be massive with not only self-driving vehicles? I again think whoever is the first one to actually have self-driving semi-trucks. Now, that's a different world. That's a different beast. And the reason why that is so big here is because think about the efficiency. Think about how important time is in $1 billion or $1 trillion business. Do you know what takes time? It takes time to load up a truck to be able to have someone drive, let's say from New York to California. That guy might have to take naps. Obviously, you go from New York to California, it's going to take like 3 days. You're going to sleep in the back of your truck. You're going to use the bathroom. You're going to have to get some food. You might, again, who knows? We never want this to happen, but someone may fall asleep. They might, again, get into an accident, whatever. Imagine if there were self-driving trucks where all of a sudden they would load up the car, type in where they go, take it to California, whoop, straight shot, be there in 22 hours. Think about how much businesses could get accomplished. Because guess what? They don't have to pay for a driver who has to sleep, a driver who has human error. So when we actually perfect self-driving vehicles, I think that is going to be a game changer. Game changer as in a revolution for, again, human consumers, also a revolution over in businesses. You know what's wild to think about? And I was thinking about this the other day, okay? Cars really started going into production. Like cars really started gearing up into the production in like 1920s, 1930s. Okay? Do you guys not realize that was 100 years ago? 100 years ago is when cars really started gearing up into production. 100 years ago wasn't that long ago. Think about your grandparents. Think about your great-grandparents. I mean, guys, what were they doing before that? They were riding horses around. It literally, if you go back 150 years, like your great-grandparents, they were riding horses around, right? Then within the last 100 years, we all started making these vehicles. We all started making these cars. We all started driving around. Who can't say? Again, we've gone from horses to cars to now, again, coming up in the future, we could be having self-driving vehicles, right? Guess what? If you want to ride a horse nowadays, you go ahead, you buy a horse, you have a farm, you can ride it through a hiking trail, whatever. Could there be a point in maybe, again, 15, 20 years where someone's like, oh, you have one of those manual driving cars. Oh, you got to take that to a track. Who knows? I'm just kind of spitballing out here, but I do think it's a very interesting topic, and that is where a lot of people are starting to focus, though, is what is the next hot trend? Now, I'm not saying go ahead and take your life savings and throw it over in self-driving vehicles, but I am saying right here, Aurora, they are, again, self-driving semi-trucks trying to change the game. Uber, Uber right here, guys, is trying to get self-driving vehicles. Not again, not having people drive you around, but just having a fleet of self-driving vehicles. Tesla is working on autonomous vehicles. Google is working on, again, autonomous vehicles. Zach, what if we want to experiment more into this? How else could we, again, be able to invest into self-driving vehicles? Well, you also know, again, Lidar. Lidar is what they're using for self-driving vehicles. Lidar, or light detection and ranging, is remote sensing technology that uses laser lights to measure distances to objects. So for anyone who does not know, this is the leading technology right now in autonomous vehicles. Now, what is Lidar? Lidar is essentially like using a radar. What radar does is you send out waves. Once it hits an object, guess what? It gets a bounce back to the computer, and it's able to form an image. So with Lidar constantly sending out these waves, it basically builds an image. Here's an oncoming car. Here's a tree. This is the road. And that's how they're getting so advanced in this. So could Lidar be maybe the next thing that we want to be looking at? So, hey, Adek, I don't know who's going to win, let's say, autonomous vehicle race, but maybe if I can invest into all these Lidar companies, right? Lidar stocks, if that is all these different plays here. So let's go with, what is the best Lidar stocks here? We can see Luminaire Technologies, Innovest Technologies, Oyster, AEYE, 10 best Lidar stocks to buy now. These are just different ideas that I think are, really important that you guys can go ahead and check on out, right? So again, CPTN, LIDR, right? LAZR. Let's just see. I just want to see, are any of these having any sort of like uptrend right now? Are any of these starting to slowly grind at this moment? So we go ahead, let's go over to like some sort of daily chart. We actually did have a spike over on LIDR, LAZR. Nope, these are still fading at this moment. But again, just kind of thinking out loud. And I was doing a lot of research, over on autonomous vehicles. Could that be the hot trend in the future? And the reason why I'm kind of even bringing that up right now at this moment is just because when the markets are down, when we start seeing the markets burn, something arises from the ashes. It always happens. It always seems like once, one fade starts kind of ending, a new fade or a new hype word starts coming on up. And I want to be ready for that. And I want you guys to be ready for that. So if it is autonomous vehicles, or maybe it's quantum computing, or maybe it's space exploration, or maybe it's nuclear energy, or maybe it's, whatever it could be next, right? I want you to be on that lookout for what could be happening here. But as of now, when we're kicking off the day, S&P 500, obviously, again, having some trouble. Bounce at that low of that 480 mark. We know as of now, we do have 520 as our main support line. Let's go back to the 60-minute time frame over here. So let's go back to that 60-minute time frame. We know as of now, S&P 500, we have that bottom 480. We have, again, our bounce play right around that 520 area. 520 has been holding up the best as of now, but we could get a little bit weaker. Overall, bears are still in control. When are we going to see a turn? We're going to see a turn when there's a reason to turn, when there's credibility to turn. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, again, why would the market start moving on up? Are we having a longer pause? Is Trump, again, getting rid of tariffs? Is Jerome Powell stepping in? Are we cutting interest rates? What is going to make the market move on up? And that's why I'm still saying I think there's more turmoil in the future. That's why I'm saying I still think there's more dropping coming on up. That's why I'm saying I think there's still more weakness in the future here, because I don't see a reason why everyone would start buying just yet, unless it's everyone started buying just because we fell 20%. But I don't think that's going to happen just yet. I'm excited for the market to drop a little bit more. I'm excited to see a little bit more weakness. I'm excited to start seeing a little bit more of a fade. So that's what I'm thinking with on the S&P 500. Market's still dropping. Watch for it to crack underneath 500. Once we do start getting some sort of bounce, watch for a new trend to develop. Whatever that trend could be, just make sure you guys are on the lookout and to be thinking forward on, okay, hey, let me, again, just be ready to rock and roll. Now, what about today, though? What about right now? For all my short-term investors out there, for everyone on my day trade, for everyone that's looking for the quick hype, what's the play of the day here? Well, let's go ahead and break this on down and see what we have. We have SHFS, which is up 91%. We have APVO, which is currently at 43%. MLGO, which is up 37% at this moment. Is there anything going crazy? Now, personally, I trade the majority of times in pre-market. Pre-market is my time to trade. Pre-market is the time that I like to get involved in stocks. But right now, there's nothing that's going crazy. Even SHFS, this plays up 91%, but it's not like it's spiking up to $5 plus. APVO, unfortunately, it's just moving sideways. I like to see crazy volatile plays, stocks that are spiking up, stocks that are dumping on down. You can make money on the upside, you can make money on the downside, but we can't make money on stocks that are just moving sideways. When stocks are moving sideways, there's not much money to be made. MLGO, again, it's trying to move itself on up. It's had a nice bounce play off its 50-day moving average, came on down, got a little bit of a bounce, but we probably want to see this, cooking back up to 10 bucks. So what is our next time to make a profit? If you guys are ready, in the next probably 3.5 minutes here, at the time of 8 a.m., we are going to see brand news come on out, brand new news come on out right here. So the thing is, just a little heads on up, this is the Fox Runner news scanner. It's going to give me all of the hottest news the moment it comes on out. So the way this works, and I went over this last week, but I just want to kind of fill everyone in, is in the next 3 minutes, we are going to see brand new news come out, 8 o'clock wave. The 8 o'clock wave is one of the best times to be able to find hot press releases. So what we're looking for is there is a ton of different words here. And let me move myself back on over towards the opposite side. There are a ton of different words here. Positive endpoints, phase 3, significant, demonstrates, treatment. If a press release has one of these words in the title, it will be ranked as a 2-star, 3-star press release. We want to be looking for 3-star and 4-star press releases. We also want to be looking for anything that's highlighted. So again, what I do here is I type out some of the best words and then I will highlight them. So again, they stand out to me. So there's nothing that's like super great right now, but you can see like an agreement press release right here. Receives, sometimes we receive approval, receives money, things like that. There's not really any great press release at this moment, but we have hot keywords. I am again picking my favorite keywords that I know can lead on big time spikes. And then I'm also making them low floats. This is 0 to 17 million in float. So these are the lowest float stocks. Low float stocks with hot keywords that are brand new and fresh to us. That means, again, we will be the first ones to enter. If we are the first ones to enter, we have the best chance of making money. So far, for anyone who does not know, I've been doing a small account challenge. So I know the majority of traders, when you guys first start trading, you might have a $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 account. You want to turn it into $100,000 or so. Well, guess what? Right now, I started with 5,000 bucks, and we are now coming on up towards around $10,000. Right now, we're at about 9,100 bucks. So we got to be able to make about a $900 profit to be able to make a 100% return. Now, how have I almost made a 100% return in my stock trading? It's just by doing this. Have you guys ever woken up and say, wow, the stock's already up 200%. Wow, the stock's already up 300%. The stock has already spiked 500%. Because you can trade in pre-market. Now, how do you trade in pre-market? Just go over to your order entry box. If you go over to your order entry box, go to your market or route and just switch it over to ARCA. Now, ARCA is going to allow you to trade from 4 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. So you could trade in pre-market. So now we know that hot news comes out at 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, and 9 o'clock. Those are the hot times that news comes on out. You can trade in pre-market, which means you are going to be one of the first people to get in. Now, if we know all the hot news comes out, let's say in the next 1 minute, guess what? We're going to be able to profit first. We will be in at the bottom. Imagine if you were filled on MLGO at the price of $7 before it runs up to $10. Imagine if you're filled on all of these plays at the bottom, and as people wake up, you're already in, and then they buy and push up the play even more. So what we're always doing, what I do, what my number one strategy is I watch the news scanner, I jump in on plays as quickly as I possibly can, and then I know as people wake up, as people start finding these plays, they start leading towards rips and runs. So let's see what we get. Right now, we might get a live trade right here in the next 30 seconds. So again, I'm watching to see what can come on up, to see what we can get, and watching over on the Fox Runner news scanner here. And let's see what type of big breakouts may happen. So again, no entries, but you guys can see right above me, this is my position box. Sometimes we get hot news, sometimes we don't, but we always have to be alert and ready. So the news will start in about 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds, we'll see this news scanner start going. We're looking for highlighted words, 3-star words, makes it easy. It's only giving us the low floats. These are ones that can go on big rips and runs. So let's get locked in here. Let's see what we get, and let's see what's gonna be coming on out. News should be coming on out here momentarily. Here's news again, red X. There are words I don't like as well, like red X, red X, red X. Those are like upcoming, offering. Again, red X, don't even need it. So again, we don't have anything too big just yet. Nothing that's like a 2 or 3-star, 4-star word that's highlighted. Nothing yet, guys, that's like great at this moment. Again, all the great news will be highlighted for us. We do have the word approved a merger. AVTE does have approval for a merger. No buying volume right now. No hot news at this time. Waiting for something to kind of step on up and steal the hype on the day. The majority of traders are just like you and I, where we are watching and we want to trade. I want to trade. I want to pull the trigger. I want to make money. I want to jump in on the stock right now. But the thing is, I'm not going to randomly take gambles. I need a reason. I need credibility to pull the trigger. I want something that's going to stand on up and say, okay, hey, this is the best play. Notice we do get news at 8 o'clock. But is there anything that's amazing? Is there anything that's a 3-star highlighted word says positive data? Do we have any sort of agreement with Nvidia? Do we have any sort of $100 million contract? No. We have, again, some words I don't like, right? Upcoming, an offering. Those are red X's. I know I don't need to look at them. And then we have little tiny press releases that don't really have anything great for us. So we are going to continue to keep our eyes peeled on this new scanner. Usually from 8 o'clock to 8:05, we'll have a few kind of drizzle in. But as of now, let's sit back, let's stay smart here. But traders, that's the whole secret to success when it comes down to pre-market trading. Over the years of trading, I have tried it all. I've tried so many different strategies. This right here is hands down, I think, the best way to trade. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. We're going to continue to watch the news scanner here. But remember, if we can, find a stock that is about to go explosive, okay? We're about to find a stock that's going to go up, let's say, just 100%. The majority of people are going to be sleeping right now. The majority of people are going to be in their beds at this moment, and they're going to wake up and they're going to come on over and say, wow, there's a stock up 100%. Oh yes, this is awesome. I can't wait to buy up here. Guys, that is the absolute worst way to trade, because guess what happens? The stock then just comes crashing all the way back on down. They lose all their money. When we are awake and we are saying to ourselves, hey, we're looking to see what hot news comes on out. Imagine if we find something and we buy here. We only have limited risk. Could a stock fall off good news? Sure, it could, but our risk is little. Look how much risk we have if we buy off hot news. Look how much reward we could have if we buy off hot news. Even if, again, you just want to give a stock a chance. Hey, Dek, we came out with positive data. Pull the trigger. It's not like a stock's going to dump off positive data. It might not go crazy, but the thing is, your risk is going to be a few dollars. The reward is going to be massive. So yes, every morning I wake up and all I do is every 30 minutes I watch my news scanner. Every 30 minutes, I say to myself, okay, is this going to be the best play? Is this going to be the best play? And I just wait for the answers to be given to me. So as long as you, know how to make money in pre-market, switch it over to ARCA, have a limit order, watch the news scanner. So let's see this. SPAI has an expansion of US awarded a patent. They were awarded. That's a key word. It's highlighted for us. This play might get a little bit of hype. It's not the biggest press release in the world, but it's the best one so far at 8 a.m. this morning. So SPAI, notice how buying volume is already starting to move in on this play, all right? So SPAI, let's see if this one does catch a little bit of fire here. If you wanted to, you could give it a chance. Now, again, this is only a patent press release. This was not awarded hundreds of millions of dollars. It wasn't awarded anything crazy. It was awarded a patent. Patent's not really the biggest press release in the world. But the whole idea is obviously what? You guys can see how buying volume moves in once you get a reason for people to buy in on the stock. When you get credibility, when you get a reason for people to buy in on the play, that's what gets traders excited. Here's UPXI. UPXI actually just came out with the news 1 minute ago. It's right underneath it. It says UPXI pricing of $100 million private placement. So again, pricing of $100 million private placement, this stock just went from 3 minutes ago, $2 up towards $4. So UPXI just started spiking because there's a reason. Something that a lot of traders don't realize is stocks don't just spike randomly. Stocks every morning have to have a reason for people to buy them. Every now and then you might just get a random pump. Sure, it's a low float stock that people start trying to buy, but the only way to actually be successful in these pre-market morning trades is to find the credibility, find the press release, find the reason on why you would want to buy it. So again, we know right here, SPAI. SPAI has, again, awarded. When you are awarded, people do like that, which is why, again, some traders are trying to move in on this play right here. UPXI, pricing of $100 million private placement. Guess what? This is a stock that's trying to move on up. Notice this is the number 2 top gainer. Stocks don't just pop out of the blue. They have credibility. If you become a master of press release trading, you will be able to make more money than all these other plays, like what just came on out right here. IMNN accepted for oral presentation in an upcoming meeting. So just a little heads on up. See that red X right there? I kind of put those in. There's key words that I don't like. I don't like whenever we see the words potentially, maybe, upcoming, meetings, offerings. So I always just put a red X over these words because they usually don't go on big time spikes here. So UPXI is one of the better plays right now, and SPAI is a decent press release, not really that crazy, but we'll keep our eyes peeled on it. But notice how even within this first 2 minutes here, you are seeing them first. There's potential that UPXI, it's only up right now 48%, could run another 50, could run another 100, could run up another 200%. Now, for me, I try to be very selective. There's 4 press release waves every single day. 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30. If again, there's nothing at 8, wait till 8:30. If there's nothing at 8:30, you might want to watch 9 o'clock. But if there's nothing at 9 o'clock, then again, you sit back, you wait until tomorrow. So many people feel like they have to pull the trigger nonstop. So many people feel like they got to pull the trigger every single day, every single second. I will tell you this right now. The stock market is not a casino. It's not. You can make it a casino. I can easily close my eyes like this and I can scroll up and down and I can say, okay, whatever the mouse lands on, that's the one I'm buying. Sure, I could do that if I wanted to, right? But I don't want to do that. You can be the tourist or you can be the house. That all comes down to you. You can be the tourist or you can be the house. Well, Dek, how do I be the house? The house is by putting the odds in your favor. There are the right way to trade and the wrong way to trade. The wrong way to trade, if we wanted to break it on down, is going to be the wrong way to trade is going to be, number one, you see a stock spiking, you see it moving on up, you feel FOMO, you get emotional, you say, wow, that's the stock of the day, you buy in at the very tippity top, and then guess what happens? It comes crashing all the way back on down. Who here has been in that position before? The wrong way to trade is the stock moved up on Monday, stock moved up on Tuesday, everyone's saying this is the next big spike, or oh man, if you miss out on this, you're an idiot. And you say, you know what, I'm not missing out on it. And then guess what? The moment you buy on in, hey, it falls back on down. How many people feel like they have been watched before? How many people feel like it's like, hey, Dek, I don't know what it is. Every time I buy a stock, it goes in the opposite direction. The reason why that happens is the majority of the time, it's because you are focusing too much and allowing your eyes to decide for you. Now, what do I mean by that? Is you are allowing the stock to go on a big time spike before feeling confident that this is now going to go up. Oh, you say, hey, the stock has a 300% move. Now I want to buy. It already had a 300% move. It's now going to come crashing all the way back on down. You must be a trader that's now going to know that a stock's going to spike, not waiting for it, the stock to spike and then again jumping on it. That's the worst thing to do. So the right way to trade is to be able to do this. Be able to say to ourselves, let's say again, we're watching at 8 a.m. 8 a.m., all of a sudden hot news comes on out. Says we have a low float stock, 2 million in float. 2 million float, low float play, just came on out with positive phase 3 data. We just see it, just came out 20 seconds ago. The stock starts going like this, barely moving. This is where you pull the trigger. Stock just came out with news, positive phase 3 data. The worst case scenario is it just doesn't get much volume. The worst case scenario is it doesn't get too much hype. The best case scenario is it goes explosive and you're at the very bottom. Now again, you see the people running in and now you're saying to yourself, oh, remember that when this was me, when I was buying at the very tippity top? Now you're the guy selling at the very tippity top after getting in at the bottom. You must, again, put the odds in your favor. The odds are there's a great chance that you are going to lose after you buy an 80% spike. The odds are that you have so much room to fall on down and you have hopes that it goes a little bit higher. But the odds are when you get in early right here that there's so much little room to fall. There's only a little room to fall and there's no maximum reward up high. I want you to get out of the habit of hoping you go up here, but most likely you're going to end up coming crashing on down here. I want you to get into the habit of getting in here where you have all this room to make money and you only have this little room to be able to end up losing. So again, with the strategy that I'm showing you right here, that's how you can be successful. With the news scanner, with of course buying in pre-market and putting the odds in your favor. So you guys can clearly see who's the tourist. The tourist, the gambler, is the guy buying after everyone else has bought. The house is the person that's awake and knows the game. The person that has the edge. The person that knows, hey, you know what, if I pull the trigger, the odds are I'm going to win. Now that does not mean you're going to win 100% of the time, but the odds are you're going to win over time. And that's what we want. So again, sure, we can turn it into a gamble if we want to. We can randomly pick out plays, but we can give ourselves an edge. We don't want to be trading, guys. If you think about this in the craziest sense, you could be the worst stock trader in the world and you already have a 50-50, right? Guys, you could be the worst stock trader in the world and you already have a 50-50. This is already better than a casino. When you think about a casino, you go play blackjack, you play roulette, you play whatever. Guys, you're already sitting at a 48% chance of winning. House always has the edge, 52% chance of winning, right? You sit down, you start playing blackjack. It's like a 48-52. Over time, no matter what, you will lose in blackjack. The longer you play, the more you trade, or the more you play, the more you're going to lose over time. Now in stock trading, I could close my eyes and buy whatever stock XYZ. It's a 50-50. It's either going to go up or it's going to go down. Those are the only two options. But let's say, hey, Dek, I started studying a little bit. And now again, I understand support and resistance. Now I'm buying on a dip buy. Okay, You're buying on a dip buy off a very strong area of support. Well, now again, you just went from a 60-40 because there could be an area for it to fall on down opposite, obviously, but you're getting ready for that dip buy. And hey, Deck, you know what? I have the new scanner now. And now again, I'm getting in on low float stocks the moment they come on out, and I'm one of the first people to get involved. Well, now it's a 70-30. The odds are heavily in your favor. Hey, Deck, again, I've been learning these strategies, and now again, I'm being as smart as I can. I'm not chasing. I'm not getting emotional. I know, again, how to get in quickly. I'm buying in on hot 3-star press releases, getting in right away. Now it's an 80-20. So the odds are heavily in my favor now. What I want you to do, and you can do any strategy you want, but start figuring out how can you trade where you are not randomly guessing and hoping. You know who you are. I, again, can't put myself, in your shoes. I started there. We all start there, where we are sitting to ourselves at this moment, hey, we're 50-50s. If you are nervous when you trade, you have to, again, figure out why. You are either nervous when you're trading because A, you either don't have an education, which means you're just randomly buying and hoping for the best, or B, you don't have experience, which means, again, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, right? No matter what, it's either education or experience. That's the moment why you guys are scared. That's why you guys are nervous. That's why, again, you need to overcome that. If you don't know how to trade, when you get knowledge on how to trade, you start feeling more confident. And also, the more you trade, the more confident you become. Right? So again, that's what it comes on down to. Building that education, building that experience, and becoming a better trader in those manners. So let's see right now, guys, what is going to be the best place for us? How can we be able to make money as of right now at 812 in this market? Well, we know UPXI just started going on the spike. Team, look at UPXI exploding. Didn't we see that right here? Come on out at 8:02 a.m. 8:02 a.m. We saw the stock when it was up 45%. Look what UPXI is doing at this moment, traders. Remember, when you are awake in pre-market, you see stocks going absolutely explosive. Why? Because they come out with a credible reasoning. If you're ready for these credible reasonings, you could see these stocks go absolutely on huge rips and huge runs. So it's great even right now how it came out that press release. Everyone bum rushed onto this play, and now it's going on a rip and run. But here's the issue. The issue is exactly what I just said. If we were not ready for this, if we were not prepared for this, guys, now again, UPXI is already up 150%. Let's just be honest. Is it a good time for me to want to buy in? Well, traders, to be frank with you, I'm kind of getting a little FOMO. Man, I want to buy in, Deck. I want to jump in right here. If I pull the trigger right now at the high of the day, is this a good entry? Let's pull the trigger right here at the high of the day. Is this a good entry? Well, let's see what happens over the next, let's say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Am I going to fall back into old habits and just be the guy that's getting crushed? So if we are trying to avoid that, what can we do? Well, team, there's basically 3 different ways that you can trade every single stock, okay? 3 different ways that you can trade. Now, let's again figure out what areas those are. Number 1, you can be the best entry, which means you have the new scanner, you are sitting there watching, you pull the trigger at the bottom. That's entry number 1. Entry number 1 is the guy that's prepared, the guy that's ready to rock and roll. Guy, again, already has his orders over on ARCA, jumps in on the position the moment it comes on out, ready to rock and roll, and absolutely banks. That's position number 1 you can get in. Position number 2 you can get in is shorting it. Stock goes on a 150% spike. Hey, Deck, I'm going to bet against this company. We know that these are just low float stocks that are, again, just squeezing the way on up because people are hungry to make money. Guys, these are not good long-term investments at all. These are day trades. We are basically jumping in, riding the hype, riding the momentum, and then taking a profit and moving on from it, right? So a lot of people are always going to jump in and then short it back on down. Now, entry number 3 is going to be the dip buy. Where is there going to be a good dip buy opportunity for me to be able to jump on in and be able to get a little bit of profit towards the upside? So again, you either have number 1, you're jumping in first. Number 2, you short at the top. Or number 3, you look for a dip buy. The issue is, as we've said multiple times, the majority of people buy at number 2, lose their money, get upset, get out, and then it bounces at the moment they get out. So while this one might continue to keep on going higher, while this one might continue to keep on spiking up more than we think, might go up to $6, I am not going to sit here and tell, again, the majority of you guys to buy a 150% gain. I would rather, again, wait to see how high this one goes, look to short it, or look for a dip buy if it comes back on down towards, let's say, the low $5 area, where you're looking for a quick little dip where you have more safety, where you have more reward and less risk. So think about either get in first, short the top, or get a dip buy. Last thing you want to do is buy the top and be the person that's constantly complaining about why does everything turn on me after it goes on spikes. But I want you guys to see how great this works on out. UPXI, remember, 8 o'clock started spiking. Why? UPXI came out with news. Then UPXI set itself up in a bull flag pattern. Bull flag pattern, little bit of triangle. As that bull flag pattern squeezed, the stock got its next leg on up. If you are a brand new trader and really don't understand, again, how bull flags work, you guys can see right here, just head on over to Google, just type in bull flag pattern. Bull flag pattern, essentially what we have here is a spike. We get tighter and tighter and tighter until we get that breakout. So basically we have a spike on up, consolidation, then we get a breakout. Same exact thing that we see right here, right? We have at this moment, and I will draw it on out here, spike, here's that little consolidation right here. There's that next leg on up. So spike, bull flag, there's that next leg on up. UPXI has the credibility. The majority of traders right now are either shorting at $6 or getting ready for a dip buy. Where's the dip buy? Well, at the VWAP. VWAP is usually one of the best dip buy areas that you can get. Right now, that's at the price of $466. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled on this to see if that is going to be able to continue to hold on up and then go on that next leg over on UPXI. Now, traders, now if you guys are, again, always watching me every single day, what would I be saying next about UPXI? Put you guys a little to the test here, right? So the thing is, we want to see what we get. We want to see what's coming on up. I always say this. UPXI, just like many other plays, have characteristics, have genes. And you might say to yourself, what do you mean by genes? What do you mean by like characteristics? One of my favorite sayings, and I say this a lot here, is that stocks are going to repeat their past. If your grandparents had red hair, your parents probably have red hair, which means, again, you probably have red hair. It's within the stock's genes. It's within the stock's genetics. What do you guys realize about UPXI? UPXI is a known spiker. Take a look at the daily chart. It is a known spiker right here and right now. But what can you guys realize about this play? Well, what I can realize is every single time it has spiked, a big upper shadow forms. Notice this, guys. Every single time it spikes, upper shadow. Upper shadow. There's no denying. There's no arguing here. There's no controversy. It's this stock is known to spike and then give it all back. Traders, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The last 7 spikes that this stock has had, it has given nearly all of its gains back within the same day. It starts at one price, goes on a massive rip, and gives back nearly all of its gains by the end of the day. You can clearly see those large upper shadows. So with that being stated right there, traders, that is already telling me, hey, if you're a shorter, if you're someone who likes to bet against these plays, UPXI is going to be an amazing option at the bell. It's going to be an amazing option. I mean, we might get another hour of climbing, but this is a play that most likely, I'm going to say 9 out of 10, it's going to give its gains back by the end of the day. And it's going to have a big upper shadow, and it's going to start fading and falling and start crashing and dumping and getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And the reason why I say that is because that's what the history is. That's what it's known to do. That's what it's born to do. Spike and give it all on back. So UPXI right here. Stock is still moving itself on up, currently up 164%. If I were you, you're either A, you're in on this play already, B, you're getting ready for a short, or again, number 3, you get ready for a dip buy as it comes back down towards $5. But we are always avoiding the chase. We're always avoiding the very tippity top. You are avoiding your FOMO, you're avoiding your emotions, and you're getting in at much better areas. But I hope, again, even right now of me speaking to you guys right at this moment, I hope, again, me talking to you guys at this time, this is eye-opening. I know some traders don't even realize you can trade in pre-market. I mean, just think about how much money you're missing out on. Guys, let's play the what-if game. If you had a $2,000 account, and you buy in with 1,000 shares this morning, you see UPXI coming right out here on the new scanner, UPXI again starts going on a spike, you jump in on this play. With a $2,000 account, if you held it all the way up towards this top, you could have been able to make a little over $4,000 today. How insane is that to think about? You jump in on this play, you could have been able to make over $4,000 off a $2,000 account in the last 20 minutes. How nuts is that? That's why I love this. Because remember, it's very difficult to nail the entire perfect move, but how great could it be to just get the meat of the move? The majority of it. Even if you get, let's say, $1 worth. Even if you get $2 worth. Hey, Dek, again, I have a $4,000 account right now. I jumped in at $4. I got out of $5. I just made $1,000. And again, it's not even 8:30 in the morning yet. Congratulations. Hey, Dek, I just saw that the stock is starting to spike. You're telling me that the stock is known to go on a big upper shadow and probably give back the majority of its gains. I just jumped in on the short side right when it popped up towards a new high of the day, watching for dump on all the way back on down. I'm making money as it's falling right now. Again, stock's moving, stock's volatile. Congratulations. Hey, Deck, I haven't pulled the trigger just yet, but I'm not chasing the top. I know, again, I'm usually the guy that always gets in the top. You know what? I'm going to wait for a dip buy back around $5, go for a dip buy from $5 back up to $5.50. Okay, 1,000 shares. Congratulations. There's 500 bucks, right? All I'm looking for every single morning is I'm saying to myself, all right, guys, I'm looking for what is going to be the most volatile. What stocks are going to be moving the most? Stocks move because of two reasons. Number one, they have a low float, which means there's a lack of shares available to the public. The lack of shares is going to lead towards hard spiking or hard dumping. But there's something that needs to light the fire underneath these against a lower float plays, and that comes from news. So, hot news on low floats lead to big spikes. If you are first, you make the most amount of money. If you're last, short them. And if, again, you're waiting for a dip buy, get ready for a bounce play off the VWAP. That is the secret formula to success. So that is what I am constantly always looking for, and that's how you guys can get ahead of the curve, right? So right now, traders, this is the number one top gainer. This is the number one top gainer. And I can almost bet that probably, again, not even right now, right? We have taking a look over on StockTwits. I'm looking at the trending tickers right now. Trending tickers. Let's see if, again, UPXI is a trending ticker right now, because UPXI should start becoming a trending ticker pretty soon. And it's just because more people are going to start talking about it. But how great is this? It's not showing up in the top 10 yet. It's not showing up in these top 10 trending tickers. It's you're already getting ahead of the mob. Who here could say, oh yeah, before I would never be able to spot this play on out before. I would never be able to find it. I always waited until everyone was already talking about plays, then I jumped in. That's the wrong way to trade, guys. When we're talking about how do we get the edge, how do we get successful, how do we beat everyone else, we can't wait until, again, it's showing up as a top 10 ticker. It's already a top 10 ticker because it's already spiked up 200%. We're getting in before everyone else. So again, UPXI, we type this over on in here, and we start getting a little some ideas, right? Some people are now starting to talk about it. 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. These are people that are obviously getting a little bit ahead of the curve. But there's going to be the majority of people getting at 9:30 in the morning, missing out on this 160% spike. So now, again, you're learning. Now, again, you're listening. Now I really have your attention. So guess what? In the matter of 7 minutes, you're going to be able to do it all over again. In the matter of 7 minutes, there's going to be brand new opportunity. In the matter of 7 minutes, you're going to have the brand new chance to be able to see a stock go on a big time spike, rip and run. So again, 7 minutes from now, you guys will be all ready to rock and be able to see everything keep on spiking. So make sure you guys are all good. So UPXI, number one play at this moment. Let's just again check on out. Make sure we're not missing anything else at this time. Switching this on out. For anyone who wants to have this as well, this is Fox Runner. Fox Runner is, again, the news scanner that I've been using every single day. It gives you all of the hottest news the moment it comes on out. So again, make sure you guys go check that out if you guys are interested. But as of now, the best plays is UPXI came out with a $100 million private offering, EVGN, MLAC. So again, UPXI by far the best. But notice how these are the biggest rips and runs. You might say, well, Deck, what about SHFS? SHFS, this doesn't have any sort of news here. Well, on the contrary, we again take a look at the number 2 top gainer in the stock market. Why is SHFS going? Remember, Deck, you said that stocks that are spiking always have to have some sort of credibility. Stocks don't just spike for no reason whatsoever. There has to be some sort of credibility behind them. And this play goes from $2, ripped up to $6. This morning went from $3 all the way up to $5. And it is because, actually, SHFS did actually have news. It was just news from over the weekend. This was on 4-21. So on 4-21, this was actually SHFS. This one came out, I believe, over on like Friday. And Friday, the stock market was closed. Let's see real quick. SHFS going over towards the news section here. 4-18, I believe, 4-17. So when was that? 4-17, that was Thursday of last week. So it's kind of like the stock just started getting a lot of the hype and momentum from the news that came out Thursday. Remember, Thursday came out, stock market was closed on Friday. So this is actually the first day that traders are able to react to this news. And that's why SHFS is going on a big rip and run. SHFS talks about a partnership. Partnership, one of those hot keywords that we like to see. Partnership again starts, the stock goes on a very big spike, starts going on a very big rip. So UPXI up from $100 million private placement. SHFS up because, again, they have partnership news. Now, again, we're getting ready for the next hot wave. Next hot wave comes out at 8:30. 8:30 is going to start appearing. Guess what? Traders going to start gearing on up and getting ready to rock and roll. So what are we looking for? We're looking for 3-star, 4-star words. We're looking for hot keywords. And again, we're all set ready to go with low floats, getting the best plays highlighted towards us right away. So now again, I hope you guys are getting a little fired up, knowing what to look for, knowing again the best plays, and of course saying to yourself, all right, hey, I want to find the next UPXI type of move. So let's get ready to rock. Now, again, my time here over on StockTwits is coming on down to an end in the next 4 minutes. We will watch the 8:30 press release wave, but then we are going to be wrapping some things on up. Again, I just want to throw out there every single day, you guys can watch me live stream every single day. Every day I am live on Tradecaster. Tradecaster is, again, our community where I'm always live streaming. Make sure you guys go check it on out. Tradecaster members, again, post the link over in the chat. Make sure you guys check it on out. We are live there every single day. But other than that, shout out to StockTwits being so incredible, so awesome, and so great. StockTwits has the award show coming on up in the next, I think, 2 weeks over in New York City. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys go buy tickets. I'm probably going to be out there as well. You guys can meet me. I'm very excited to be able to get out there in New York City and go to the StockTwits award show. And that's going to be absolutely awesome. So make sure if you guys have not gotten tickets to that, you guys go check that on out here. So UPXI is the top dog at this moment. We're going to see if that is going to still get that bounce play. We have not gotten that $5 dip by, that $5 bounce just yet. So right now, let's see here. UPXI, let's see if this one is going to keep going on up. And traders, what would help UPXI go on up? Remember, it's all psychology. You got to think about it, guys. UPXI, what would help the stock get its next leg? The next leg over on UPXI is right now, you got to know, right? You got to be in the know. Right now, the majority of traders are now saying, okay, UPXI just went on a big spike. I want to look for the next hot press release wave. So UPXI is now moving sideways. Let's say, hypothetically, a very hot press release comes on out in the next 2 minutes. What do you think would happen? Traders are going to leave UPXI, which will lead to a fade, and people will go into the next play. So you almost have to think about it as, imagine if there's only 100 traders in the stock market. Okay, let's think about it in a psychological game. There's 100 traders in the stock market. Right now, 85 of them over on UPXI. The majority of them are over on UPXI, okay? Now, if all of a sudden at 8:30, a brand new hot press release comes on out, let's just say stock XYZ has a partnership with Nvidia. 85 of those traders, I bet you 70 of them are going to leave and go to the next hot thing. Remember, these are not long-term investments. These are people that are running around like their heads cut off just trying to make a quick buck. So when a stock goes from $2 to $6, everyone says, I love this play. But if something better comes out in the next 2 minutes, guess what? Everyone will dump UPXI and they'll go over to the next play and try to make money on that one. And then if a new hot press release comes on over, they go to the next one. It's basically, guys, I always give this an example. It's almost like, you ever see those sci-fi movies where, again, this is a little childish, but stick with me. You ever see when like an alien group will go to a planet, suck up all their resources, and then blow up the planet and go to the next one? And they suck up all those resources and blow up the planet and go to the next one. That's almost what the stock market is when it comes on down to these more hot, active, volatile plays. Traders, all they want is money. So they look at the news scanner, they see UPXI coming on out, they run over to it, they try to make as much money as they say, we love it, we love it, we love it, we love it, we make as much money, we got our profit, and then you sell it and you say, I don't care about it ever again. And they look for the next one, right? That's all it is. Traders are going to constantly bounce around from one play to another. So again, if you're ever in on UPXI, let's say at the price of $6.50, and all of a sudden a hot press release comes on out on another play, you probably don't want to keep on holding and saying, oh, well, will it come back on up? You have to be in the know. And what do I mean by in the know is understanding how traders work in this space. And it all comes on down to find the lowest one with credibility, suck up all the resources. The moment everyone's happy and something new comes on out, you blow up that planet, you go to the next one, right? That's just how it goes. That's how it works. That's the routine. People get greedy over here. So we got 20 seconds at this time. We got 20 seconds at this time. We're going to be watching and waiting, and let's see what we get at this moment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are enjoying the show, if you have gotten some value out of the show, smash the thumbs up right now. So every single person right now watching, all 200 plus of you, smash that thumbs up right now if you guys enjoy this and you guys want me back next Monday over on StockTwits. So again, let me see you. Let me see how many thumbs up we can honestly get. So thank you so much. Other than that, let's keep our eyes over on the news. ENLV talks about completion on phase 2. Completion on phase 2 does not mean, again, positive results. What's this one? We have strategic collaboration on LH. Let's see this one. LRHC. Guys, LRHC, very small play. Not my type of play. Only 13 cents. Getting a little bit of buying volume. Whoa, guys, look at this. HSAI. Guys, look at this guy. Remember this morning? HSAI. What did I talk about this morning? Autonomous vehicles. What did I talk about with autonomous vehicles? LiDAR. Kind of funny. HSEI unveils Infinity Eye LiDAR solutions for autonomous driving systems. Guys, I can't predict the future, but it seems like I might be able to at times. Look at the hot press releases coming on through. Talks about LiDAR for autonomous driving, just as something we were talking about an hour ago. So what else do we have here? We have BGM. BGM acquires Dragon to accelerate healthcare strategies. BGM acquiring another stock. That could easily get some hype. A lot of time, that one actually might be Holton. I'm not seeing too much buying volume at this moment. Let's see which one takes over the hype over at 8:30. Right now, again, nothing going nuts. RSLS gets a little bit of a pop. Nothing going crazy just yet. We have a couple that we're watching. ENLV we're watching. LRHC, a little bit too small for me, but notice how LRHC is going on the spike deck. Why are we going on the spike? Because it did come out with a collaboration. Collaboration is another word for a partnership. Two companies working together, investors like that, right? We could see again, RSLS. RSLS right here receives notice of allowance on a US patent. So again, trying to get a little buying volume. Not every play that comes out with a press release is going to spike up 200%, but it's usually when you have a good press release, a great press release that kind of steals the show. Well, Deck, what's a great press release? Positive results, right? Reaching endpoints, agreements, things like that. That kind of steals the show. So nothing right now at 8:30 that's stealing the hype, stealing the show at this moment that I see. RSLS is trying to get a little buying volume. RSLS right now trying to get some hype. But I hope what you're learning right here, and you can take it and you can see how you can profit. You can see how you can predict the market, and you can see how, hey, if I start waking up early, I can be able to make a lot of cash. I could be able to, again, study. I could be able to become a pro trader from hot press releases. I always say this, guys. You can come up to me and you can say, oh, Deck, I don't like sports. I'm not good at sports. That's false right away. You might not be good at football. But you know how many sports there are? There's baseball, there's volleyball, there's badminton, there's croquet, there's pickleball, there's tennis, there's golf, there's swimming. I can guarantee I can find a sport that you'll like and you'll want to become better. And if you're like, no, I'm not good at baseball. Well, then let's go to volleyball. Oh, I don't like volleyball. Okay, let's go to something else. Same exact thing with stock trading. You don't have to be a long-term investor. You don't have to be a shorter. You don't have to do options or swing trading. I don't like options. I think options suck. Guys, that's my opinion. I know everyone, again, says options. Guys, the majority of people lose on options. I like to put the odds in my favor. I like to jump in on hot plays that I know are going to rip and run, aka credible stocks with low floats, aka hot news plays. So that's my strategy. It's a different niche. It's a different sport. So again, find the sport that works best for you. Hey, everyone here over on StockTwits, I just want to say thank you so much. Everyone that's tuning in from Tradecaster, thank you so much. And everyone that just stumbled across this video right now, thank you so much. I hope you guys smash that thumbs on up. Subscribe to StockTwits if you guys have not yet. And I will see you guys back here next Monday over on StockTwits. I'm live this morning over on Tradecaster.com. Check it on out. Max over on StockTwits. Post that hashtag one more time because I want everyone going to the award show in the next 2 weeks. I will see you in New York City, baby. And guys, have a wonderful rest of your week. Take this, learn from it, and profit. Thank you so much. I'll see you later, StockTwits. Thank you.